Alright, Mr. L, how are you doing? I hope this video finds you safe, well, and nice. But yeah, I'm Fred Beyer, and this is my video presentation for you. This is Iceland, a geologic history. Okay, now Iceland. Iceland is an island located in the Atlantic Ocean near the Arctic Circle. Iceland lays on the mid-Atlantic Ocean ridge with a rugged 4,970-kilometer coastline that meets the Greenland Sea. Iceland can be found on the divergent boundary between the Eurasian and North American plate. The ridge Iceland lays on is approximately 16,000 kilometers along the north-south axis of our Atlantic Ocean. Alright, next slide. Okay, Iceland's general mineral composition. Iceland is mostly made up of igneous rocks with an account of 8 to 10% of sedimentary rock. There is a total of 25 types of igneous rocks that have been found in Iceland with, forgive me if I can't pronounce it correctly, with olivine basalt being the most common igneous rock out of those. Olivine basalt is composed of 4 main minerals: plagioclase, augite, olivine, and magnetite. This is due to how Iceland was formed by its volcanism. Alright, let's go to the next slide. Okay, Iceland's creation history. It is thought that the initial formation of Iceland started 60 million years ago when the mid-Atlantic ridge started to give way, causing mantle plumes to appear. The mantle plumes were then responsible for the creation of a series of aligned hotspot volcanoes. Even though Iceland is technically 60 million years old, all of the rocks there were formed within the last 25 million years. It started to form in the early Miocene subepoch, but the oldest rocks of Iceland were found at the surface from the middle Miocene subepoch. Alright, next slide. Okay, but wait, how exactly did Iceland form? Iceland formed by a pocket of magma that laid below the island. It is believed that when the lava raised to the surface of the ocean, it cooled, causing the creation of the island that we know as Iceland today. Iceland's geological deformation was mainly caused by the mid-oceanic ridge spreading. A linear oceanic feature was formed when the mid-oceanic ridge started to spread. This linear oceanic feature that I'm talking about is called a fracture zone. Now, these fracture zones are valleys that cut across the mid-ocean ridges that allow large amounts of lava to be erupted. And as you can see here, Iceland's mid-Atlantic ridge. Okay, now Iceland spreading. For my first diagram, I decided to display this to you. But this diagram right here demonstrates Iceland's mid-oceanic ridge spreading. As you can see, the North American plate right here and the Eurasian plate right here are pushing away from each other. The North American plate is moving west and the Eurasian plate is moving east. And as you can see, the mid-Atlantic ridge on the top right there and the rising mantle material down below. Now, when these two plates push away from each other, mantle plumes are then formed. Hence the rising mantle material in this diagram for you. Alright, now this slide, or this diagram. Alright, now volcanism in Iceland. This diagram demonstrates how the convection currents drive the plates apart from each other. Now in this diagram, you could just take a look at the bottom of it right here. Now this shows in the mantle, the convection currents driving the plates apart. Now in the second bullet point, inside the oceanic crust, right here, the North American plate moves west, while the Eurasian plate moves east. Now all of these events taking place are creating this volcanic vent right here, which releases steam and gas fumes. Now as these two plates move apart, excessive eruptions of lava constructed volcanoes and filled rift valleys. Now this is my last diagram for you, but this is Iceland's fracture zone, or this is a demonstration for it. Now this diagram demonstrates how fracture zones are in fact tied with magma raising to the surface of the ocean. Now as you can see here on the left, we have a fracture zone here and a fracture zone here. Now if you take a look by the bottom where my cursor is, you can see the rising magma, the blue and red arrows. One's going left, one is going right. And this rising magma is tied with fracture zones. So fracture zones are a big contributor into Iceland's creation. Alright, now Iceland today. Global warming is in fact paying a hard due on Iceland. Due to Iceland's placement near the Reykjanes tectonic plate ridge, the southwest peninsula is sinking. Now there also has been a scarcity of important material on Iceland due to the fact that there has been a lack of volcanic activity. So Iceland is not looking good right now. But Iceland averages a growth of 5 centimeters each year due to how it splits even wider at the points where the two tectonic plates meet. But in certain areas on Iceland, it is raising 1.4 inches a year on top of it already growing 5 centimeters wide. So like the landscape on Iceland is changing. Now this is Iceland's future I'm talking about. Unfortunately, there is a huge concern on how global warming is in fact affecting Iceland's landscape. Even Iceland's president is concerned. Now, if you remember what I said on the last slide, now that does tie into this. Now, Iceland's landscape is changing geologically, but the president of Iceland, Gunni Johannesson, concluded in an interview that climate change is no longer something to joke about. So, people that live in Iceland, even including the president, everyone's concerned about Iceland's future and the landscape. But Iceland elected environmentalists to try to save Iceland from severe and unrecoverable climate change. There's $55 million is the government's budget for the next 5 years to try for reforestation, carbon-free transport, and land conservation. Now, people do not want people to leave Iceland, because when climate hits Iceland and it changes Iceland, people are gonna move, people are gonna leave, people are gonna take their businesses and go somewhere else, because Iceland is not looking good right now. But when people do that, Iceland is gonna lose its wealth. They're gonna lose businesses, they're gonna lose a ton of stuff. So people are in fact trying to save Iceland. One, just for the sake of saving Iceland and its landscape, and two, saving the wealth, saving the population on Iceland. Alright, and that concludes my presentation, Mr. L. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good rest of your day and stay safe. Alright, thank you. Bye.